All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late today, but I know there was some high impact news coming out soon too, so morning, Jimmy, Vegas, Preet, Doctor, Jim, Daniel, good morning. See if we can have a Good Friday today. End the week, end the month. Yeah, it's pretty big news, high impact news events. So, good morning, Oscar. Yeah, my youngest daughter, she's only 7, but heading out the door this morning, she wears glasses, but only recently. She's only had them a few months. And we were like, "Where's your glasses? You need your glasses." And she said, "No." Like, "Well, you need your glasses." Come to find out, she thought she broke them, so she was trying to not let us know. So I had to try to fix her glasses this morning. So that's what put me a little behind. It was just the lens that popped out, but she was freaking out. Got some nice on the 10 tick here. Look, some nice levels right here at about 13,060. We got an ice level there, bunch of mini magnets, bunch of stuff. But I mean, yeah. See what we have on the 30 here. Okay, so we've had basically no movement overnight. This is the overnight break, and y'all see I keep talking about how much I can see on the 50 tick chart in the morning when I get on. Kind of tells me, how much the market's moved overnight. Well, sometimes I'll only see the London Open, but here, look at this. I can see all the way back to yesterday morning. So the market is definitely just it's just not good. Not good. And then overnight, we've only had this one little run down and just a few bars of chop. So it's definitely more than likely waiting on this news here. So 30 tick. I'm not even going to really try to analyze anything till after this news comes out. Because it'll probably fly. There we go. Oh. Let's see something here. I'm gonna gotta open something up real quick while the news is doing its ugly thing. Morning, John. Yeah, it's check it out. It's made its breakout now. Now it's running. We definitely need to wait and let this calm down, let the news settle. And don't forget, I usually about 5 minutes after the news like to refresh my dynamic magnets and flux levels, especially when it has a nice movement. But see, and then we have some more news at 9:45, 10 a.m. Yeah, so I'd be careful of that too if you're trading after the open. All right, it looks like still waiting a little bit, but okay, now y'all know my rules. This is just my rule. I don't take the first LRE after news. So we have this long shoot up here. Technically, this would be a simplicity. Technically, this would be an LRE if it pulled down here. But I never take that first LRE because we know a lot of times price likes to retrace back to where it was trading, or at least 50% of where it was trading. And it has not done that now, so I would wait. And then if it doesn't retrace, then obviously we'll see price kind of settle somewhere and then just continue or chop. But I always wait. Yeah, unknown trader. And also, I think that, man, with this bank crisis, I personally feel like we're gonna have inflation's gonna peak out again. We're gonna get some down the road because, especially with them creating that BTFP program to bail out the banks, basically, they're creating more money. And of course they're gonna stop the rate hikes or slow them, maybe do one more, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I feel like they may be doing another kick the can down the road type of thing. All right, you see what I'm talking about here. Price is pulling back. May get a short to head back down to where it was. I don't know, but I don't take this first LRE. It's 8:35 now. Still give it a minute. The 30 tick chart has a couple of clusters here. Star low volume score on this last bar. So this could be the end of this current little trend here. We'll see. I'm refreshing my dynamic magnets and flux levels now. 13,138. Yeah, so that just made the high of the day as well. I'm not taking the simplicity short either because it might be a good one, but I'm going to wait because also we see on the 30 tick here, yeah, it's making its pull down, but look at all this volume. So it may come back down to this ice kind of price, maybe settlements right there too. So see what happens on its way down here. Now, this bar is going to tell us a lot because if this bar closes up with all this volume, it could make its way back up or chop. But if it closes down with this mini magnet looking left is about where that mini magnet is. This could be a push off and about a halfway point of this down move if this bar closes down. If not, and it closes up, I'm expecting chop or maybe it slowly make its way back up to these clusters. That's a lot of volume here. 2,300%. It's not HD because that's the first pullback, but it is a lot of volume. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, yeah, I just read your comment there. Yeah, it's not because it's the first pullback because this one was lower here, back here. And this was just a coil chop. That's just a coil chop. So if we had one pullback in there and then this one, then it'd be HD. So that's why it's not red. So it closed up, and because it's not technically an HD, that's why I was saying I would expect it maybe to come back up here and either chop or kind of try to come back to these clusters. But I'm really not expecting it to just move and continue long. Based on what it's showing right now. And we do have a potential little chop box. I always say block or box. I always mix it all up. But a chop box, potential one forming. So if we can get... So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I know, unknown trader. I've always wondered that because the algorithms for leaving all these order prints based on just what the contracts are doing. I mean, it's all based on the number. It's just I have no idea, but it'd be very cool to see too. Yeah, I agree. Because it's like, how do you come up with all of these, order prints, and they all mean something different just based on the contract numbers and what they're doing against each other with the buy-sell orders. But literally a rocket scientist built it. The programmer, he was a rocket scientist, so kind of explains it. So if you ever hear them say the sniper system is built by a rocket scientist, they literally mean that. Yeah. It's like, man, this must be rocket science. Yeah, kind of, pretty much. Nice, unknown trader. Um, yeah, Doctor Daryl. Bunch of people came together to put it together. So Daryl's trading knowledge, and then the programmer's skills to put it onto a chart. But then other people like Lori, helped with building it out. A bunch of people they had, a bunch of people helped building it out because Daryl knew the trading strategies and the trading aspect of it, and Lori was just really, 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 really good at identifying patterns. So she helped kind of perfect it because she had like this little thing for identifying, seeing things happen over and over. So, and then John as well helped with that. So, a big group effort. All right, so see there's that kind of expected chop hesitancy. It did pull up. It didn't quite get to the clusters, but it pulled up in here, kind of went sideways on simplicity. Now it's looking like it might want to try to start heading back down again. If we do get a move down, I would definitely like to take an LRE in that move down if we can get one. We have settlement down here as well. That is, yeah, right here. So we have settlement, flux, and a wall right there. So that'd be a good target. If we can get down, I mean, taking a pullback off of ice or gap level would be nice. We got some couple clusters on the 30 tick there, or really anywhere in between. Because if it starts making its move below this point, then I would expect it to try to, to hit each of these levels down to settlement. So now it's hitting the gap level. We do want to be careful though. Like when it comes down and does something like this where it tries to lay a mini magnet, it still has all that volume there. But that's going to be there. We just got to be careful of it creating a level on top of another level now. Like, for example, this mini magnet right here is on top of the gap level. So an LRE would be up at about 105. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. But it hasn't, simplicity hasn't really ran. So we just kind of had a little bit of an entry here, but then just one big bar down. So it's not really in a nice trend. So I think I'd probably wait. And now, it's trying to lay that mini magnet on the 30. And on the 10, it did lay a mini magnet in a cluster on the gap level. I mean, we don't need it to come back through, but we got a SLZ, potential SLZ right here too. 200% no, it's not HD. We have an SLZ if this closes down. But I'm not taking this. I'm going to wait to see if it goes further first. Below the gap level, maybe even below the ice level, the green ice. Where's it at? There we go. Because you see, simplicity's not like in a nice trend. So if it could start making its way down here and then pull back up in the ice gap level, then I'll probably take a short off of that. And see, this SLZ, this right here didn't pull back to where it really needed to pull back to the COI, these clusters here for a LRE. But let's see if this continues to make its way short. Yeah, that's a big thing too. I don't like going through 30 tick ZOIs, especially if it's the first time. See, as we do come down, we just need to see how price reacts here, because we have cluster, and then a cluster up here. Way left, there's a bunch of clusters in this area. So I would want it to come down a little further. It's looking like it wants to put this Paul trapped Xbox there too. So just need to be a little cautious. 10 tick had 74% ODD. So I really would have wanted my LRE, because right now an LRE would be up here where this 30 tick ZOI is. And that's not that bad, but the problem is we'd have to come back down through the gap level. And there's no HD, nothing else. So I'd kind of want this to come down a little further. That way we could take the LRE, the entry, around here. We got to be careful too, because settlement's right there in the flux. It should come down and get it though. Well, we do have to be careful to make sure the trend's not going to be over on a pullback. We have a cluster on the 30 tick now on our bar. So I'm not really feeling this right this second. And if it does come down a little more, we'll see how far it gets, how close it gets, and what it looks like, if I'll still take a pullback or not. Just getting a little tight. We just don't want to make sure that we take it when the trend is over. I'm definitely not taking this. Simplicity is just hovering across this ice level, so And you can see what I was talking about. Price was trading in this area. Then the news came out, ran up, and now it's retraced pretty close. Not exactly where it was before, but it's pretty close. More than 50%. So now, you know, if it goes long, then I'd be okay with going long. Well, looks like the market has come to a standstill. Yeah. There's more news at 9:45 and 10, but I can't imagine it's waiting on Chicago PMI to do anything. But I don't know. It's the end of the week, end of the month. It's a Friday. Maybe they're just waiting for the open. I don't. This is yeah. But it died. Market died. Man. It was moving pretty good there for a minute. Even, after it slowed down a little bit for the news. Did get a nice. I ended up taking a afternoon trade yesterday. Ended up getting this. It was a breakout of a 50 tick chart. Hadn't broke out in a long time, so I ended up taking this one LRE for 25 ticks. So I hit my 50 tick target yesterday as well. But it was a nice one. I'm definitely not trading this afternoon. I'm not doing Friday afternoon trading. Expected volumes about 55% right now. Yeah. That's yeah. No good. Thanks, David. All right. Are you going to start going long for us or are you going to fake us out, market? What you got going on? We have a simplicity entry here. Let's see if it'll go or not. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, I haven't really been taking many simplicity entries the last couple weeks. Just been waiting for the LREs. There hasn't been, just because I haven't been trusting the market very much. I know that sounds funny, but I've just been noticing lately because of the market conditions, there's been a lot of fake outs. So I've just been waiting for the breaks and confirmations and all that, and then been a little bit, I guess, more selective. And there just hasn't been any, I guess, quote unquote, no-brainer simplicity entries that I've really loved lately. So I've just been wanting the market to prove to me that it's going on a simplicity trend first. Go ahead and confirm that, and then I'll wait for the pullback. So it's been good though. I've had a great week. Actually, I don't know if I've taken a loser this week. Last Friday, that's what I was saying. I'm not trading Friday afternoons because I traded last Friday afternoon and I took a loss. So that's why, I don't know if y'all remember, I said I had 3 50K accounts that were about 12 ticks away from getting funded. And then I went to trade that Friday afternoon and took a loss. I was like, oh man. And then I took another loss. So I took 2 losses. That was my net 2 for the day. So I was like, well, dang. Close, but no cigar. Yeah, this week's been good though. I've recovered those losses and then some. So I think I think I'm really close to getting those 3 funded again, but I don't even want to look because I don't want to think about that. Like it might even be one more winner and it's funded, but I'm not going to look until the weekend because I think I've mentioned it before. I do not look at anything until the weekend. This is when I do my analysis for the week. Yeah. So I don't even want to know. Now, because I know I'm so close, if I take a trade and it wins, I do have to check just because I don't want to, if it does pass the 3,000, I don't want to take another trade, obviously. So I do have to check after a trade. Man, doesn't look like looks like I'm gonna. Doesn't look like I'm gonna take a trade today. It's 9:07. It's not. I mean, unless it just really starts going on a nice trend. Y'all know I say this pretty much every morning towards the end of my trading session, but I say that because I want to program my mind already to accept the fact that I may not take a trade, because I want it to be that expectation. Then of course if it just starts going, then great. But if not, I'm already kind of in shutdown mode, if that makes sense. Everything I do is to try to, because this thing is all mental. So I do want to show this too while we're sitting here, because I don't know if y'all saw on Facebook, but man, especially with how long it took for me to get my discipline together. My oldest running PA is 100. Well, this was taken yesterday, so it's 124 days now that I've traded, and in actual days, it's about 10 months that I've held it. So that alone for me is just like, I'm really proud about that, because I was one of the persons, as a lot of y'all know, one of the people that just I'd get funded, and within a couple weeks it'd be gone. I'd just mess it all up in one day. So it's just an example that, of course I'm not where I want to be. I haven't taken all the withdrawals that I want to take and all the plans that I've had thinking that it would come with being funded. But, it just goes to show, just got to have the patience. And that's why forgetting about making money has made such a big difference for me. Just trading well and sticking to my plan, my money management plan. So... No, Daniel, I'm not in any actual live accounts. They're all still in a PA. And I mean, even when like that one I've had for a long time, the first few months of having it, I mean, it did a lot of up and down. So did a lot of up and down. I'd go up to like 51,000, down to 49,000, up to 51. So I did a lot of that for some months. But I only ever traded one contract, and I never broke my rules. As soon as I stopped breaking my rules, over time, as long as you stick to it and you're taking good trades, you just become profitable. Yeah, Joan, I'm reading your comment here about how you got close as well. Yeah. It's tough because you want to get funded and you kind of have to look at it. So there is an anticipation, but yeah, for me, I mean, it's just forget about the timeline, forget about the money. Just trade well and stick to the plan. That's the only thing that's worked for me. And that's why I hate, like, I've had people before say, I'm giving this 3 months, or I'm giving this 6 months, or if I don't do this in, X amount of months, I got to go get a job. And I'm just like, just go get a job. I'm not saying you can't do it, but man, does it put pressure on. And then you look at every loss differently. That's the thing. When you have such high stakes like that, when you take a loss, I mean, it hurts because you're really relying on it for something. And that's just, man, you can't do that with trading. You just can't. Yeah, and see, Price was trying to. I was watching this while I was talking too. So it was trying to climb up, and I was waiting to see if it'd break this flux level and keep going. But as you can see, it kind of went a little sideways, choppy, and then of course on the 10 tick, that's where it laid these 3 clusters. Lorex short, but not one you'd probably want to take. And still chopping, so now it may break that flux. Yeah, it may go. So right here at this paw is what I'm really looking at, because on the 30 tick, this is where we had an trapped X box, the later paw, when it was trying to kind of climb back up in this area. So, and you can see it's kind of getting exhausted right here again, and there's potentially more trapped orders. If this bar closes short, that's what that little red box is inside the red box. That's the leading volume indicator. And that means if this bar closes down, it'll have trapped orders. So I would prefer this to definitely break above this existing paw right here. That would be key for me. And then if it does, we got to keep our eye over here. This is where it got a little messy with double clusters, had this SLZ. This bar, reversal bar, was an SLZ here. Low volume score, star 9. So I don't love this area up here, but we'll see if it even gets there. See how it's trying to lay another, it's tough right here on this level. And it looks like, yeah, it's potentially laying another paw right on top of that paw with an Xbox there. So I would not be looking to take anything right here, because, could have an LRE, technically an LRE right there. But I would not, on the 30 tick is, this is what I'm not liking right here. I wouldn't want to have to rely on this not closing down. I'd want this to go above this paw. Yeah, see, you can see the double paw there now. Better. And a paw, of course, means weakness. That's what it stands for. A point of weakness. So great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, like you said, you got to be consistent anyways. That's, oh man, I cannot preach that enough, is being consistent. And I've seen some people say, well, I'll just YOLO my eval until I get funded, and just try to get it funded. And then once I get funded, then I'll do it right. And I mean, I guess, but it's like, because we want, so the way I look at evaluations too is a 50K, we need to make $3,000, right, to get it funded. And then once we're funded, we basically got to do it again. So I started also looking at it as, when I start a brand new account, I'm not looking at it like, oh, I gotta make $3,000. I'm looking at it like that first initial $3,000 is part of it. So I gotta make $6,000. So I'm looking at it like that. Like I gotta make $6,000. I'm not even thinking about the 3. So that's why I also put no emphasis on a rush. Yeah. Yeah, the sniper traders know those. But that's also why a lot of times when I'm talking, I do sometimes say a zone of interest because that's ZOI stands for that. LRE, sometimes I call it, I'll take a pullback here because if people are not, in the sniper boot camp and know all the acronyms, then they'll understand a pullback. Ross, indecision and unsure where market weakness. Yeah, so weakness, what a Paul is literally weakness as in there's no orders there. Let me see if I can go back to, let me see if it'll show it here. Yeah, see, here's the Paul. Because look, on this side, there's no orders. It drops from a large amount of orders, large-ish, to nothing. And then it leaves, well, that's not where the Paul was. The Paul is some ticks back. Here we go. Here's the Paul. So that's area of weakness because you can see the orders. You have 32 trapped orders right there. And then it just drops off to where there's almost nothing there. There's only 3 on this side. So that creates the Paul. That's an area of weakness, means that there's just no orders. It has a big drop off. So a bunch of orders and a big drop off. That's a Paul. So when it comes back to that area and it lays, that's what I was saying, if it lays another Paul there, that means there's still weakness and there's just no orders. So, but it went away, as you can see. So it was trying to lay another Paul there, meaning there was no orders, but then it went away because buyers started coming in. And that's why the Paul is gone. And the bar is continuing, is trying to kind of go up, but we don't know. But that just means buyers, more orders are coming in now. It filled all that price level. Yeah, exactly, David. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it a day. It is 9:20 and yeah, there's nothing going on. So preserve my good week and not going to trade this afternoon. So yeah, just come back Monday, new month, new week, and see how everything goes. So for those of you trading after the open, remember we have the news at 9:45 and 10 a.m. So be careful of that. And like I said, it's the end of the week, end of the month, Friday. So just be patient and be cautious. So I will see y'all Monday. Thanks for joining me. And as always, trade well. Take care.